AI, or artificial intelligence. You've heard the name, you've seen the videos, and possibly lost your job to this new technology. Is it good or is it bad? Will it replace all the things we hold dearly in this world, or will it just be the new fad corporations are pushing because it's trendy? Well, in this controversial episode of WaterSurf Side Tangent, we're going to take a dive into my perspective on this technology and give some of my own opinions on them. Basically, talking about what I think is the good, what I think is the bad, and what I think is the very ugly. Ugh. Now, just two things to address before getting this video started. If you don't have the free time to listen to me ramble about the subject, there is a too long didn't watch summary as a pinned comment down below, and it was written by me, a human, not AI. You'll miss out on some of the details, but I know some of y'all are busy bees. The second thing to address is that I do not condone my likeness or voice to be used for AI purposes. That goes for myself and anyone featured on my channel, unless they specify otherwise. I know that there will be some AI bros that will just, flip me off and do it anyway, but I figure I say it here for legal reasons. I do have some good things to say about the subject, but we're going to need to take a look at the bad as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. With all that out of the way, let's quickly discuss AI. This is more or less a new tool that can generate imagery or text or whatever else for you. It takes out some of the tedious stuff and uses a database to generate these images or text or whatever from prompts that you give it. For example, ChatGPT is the most well-known website for generating text. I can say, hey, write me a song about making pancakes. And then it generates that song and boom, I got a song about making pancakes. There's also generated images too. Let's just use the built-in one that's in Microsoft Edge, and let's just say a cat wearing a blue hat. Yep, that's a cat wearing a blue hat. Pretty simple, right? Well, what are some of the good things you can do with AI? I would say the good things that this technology can do is just the stuff that many programs have been able to do for years. It's just got a new word slapped on it for, marketing purposes. For example, Smart Masking in Vegas Pro is called AI Mask. You can see it make a quick cutout of myself, and it's basically like rotoscoping, but different names. There's also another AI tool in Photoshop that allows you to easily remove backgrounds or photos or generate something in that spot of your photo. There are many other tools that just have an AI name slapped onto it, but they are just rebranding to fit into that marketing term. There are other benefits to using generative AI, and that's adding an artist touch to them. I mean, using these tools of generation, but making your own modifications to them. This could range from using your own data set, like Corridor Digital did with their rock, paper, scissors 2. Using AI as the base layer, but doing all these crazy effects to it afterwards. And they even used their own data set that they paid an artist to do for their models. Believe it or not, these thumbnails right here were originally AI generated. I generated a person doing a crazy face or pose. Then I took that into Clip Studio and then I drew over it, making my own modifications as I saw fit. Yeah, I use AI as the base layer, but pretty much as I replaced it with my drawing. So basically using the AI images as a reference. I could go more of the good parts of AI, but we're starting to hit the neutral part of AI. Stuff that's leaning towards good and stuff that's leaning towards bad. Nothing, that's really upsetting people, but nothing that's really benefiting people either. I would say, making memes out of the AI or something for a quick laugh, or even going back to that reference thing, I would say these generative tools can help someone that doesn't have that artist touch to convey their ideas to someone else. Basically, I know not everyone has the ability to draw something out crazy, but they have a good prompting style which can help. Let's just say pitching an idea to a client and you want to get something out really quick. That's where this would fall into the neutral category. It's good for a quick visualization, but nothing really more than that. This is where we start to teeter and merge into the bad side of AI, and that's going from the horrific images they generate. You've probably seen them. The people with the 6 fingers, or the random ass Jesus in airplanes and South Koreans on Facebook, or like a lot of these images just make you say, what the f***? There is even the text generation where students are using programs like ChatGPT to generate answers for their work. While you may think it's a good thing, but it really shows the bad side of this emerging technologies. peak laziness. I recall seeing an article on Reddit about how this teacher was frustrated with her students using these generative text AIs to just introduce themselves. Like, how lazy are you where you can't say something about yourself? Like, merely 2 or 3 sentences that, hey, my name is Josh, I'm 29, and I like the color blue. Like, how hard is that, guys? It's not that hard, okay? I'm not saying that this generative AI is bad and should be banned, but using it in moderation is something that really needs to be considered. It's like the lecture we used to get from my teachers in high school and middle school. It's okay to use Wikipedia as reference, but don't use it as a source. I would say that applies to even now to AI, and it's okay to use it as a reference, but it's always a good idea to make sure it's correct, especially the text-based stuff. Unfortunately, there are no shortcuts to greatness, and AI is being used as a shortcut for most of these things that you hear about. Moving on to the ugly side of AI, the very ugly side of it. I want to talk about the morality issue and scraping databases from online. A lot of these AI companies use artist work for their dataset. You can see these images in the style of Studio Ghibli, but not actually from their films. You see these text ones generating some outlandish things as they're being scraped from online forums for their dataset. And you can imagine some of the colorful language that some people use online. You could even see those weird-ass videos being generated from people making these generated sitcoms to those really wacky ones where an explosion turns into a cat, but then turns into some fish on a boat, and then somehow it's a car accident back into that explosion, which then turns into a rabbit to some guy doing a backflip. Like, what the hell? This technology is only getting better, but somehow it's also getting worse. It's getting sort of bad online where some of these AI datasets are scraping other AI generated images and basically poisoning their own well. At least that's what it seems like to me. Then there's the unethical side of things. People using AI to make a quick buck. You see it at the malls or the swap meets or something in between those where these vendors are selling physically printed AI art that some of it wasn't even generated by them. There are even books being published on Amazon that are completely written by an AI. The thing is that unsuspecting customers are buying this trash, not knowing that a person was not behind the product that they were receiving. Now, if you're into buying that weird AI stuff, then more power to you, but most people aren't. There's also the other ugly side of AI taking up tons of resources as in power supply and adding more to the electrical grid. This is probably a whole nother can of worms when it comes to adding on to the climate change aspect when it comes to this, as it was an issue with Bitcoin mining and NFTs, and it's an issue with those render farms. These AI tools need a lot of processing power, and it can even cause headaches for consumers looking for high-end graphics cards as they're getting swiped up to pump out this garbage online. Don't even get me started about all the companies heavily pushing AI this and AI that. Some of you may even know this firsthand, as some of you may have gotten laid off due to AI, and I truly feel for you, I really do. AI is here to stay regardless if we like it or not. It just needs to be better regulated, and that becomes a whole ethics issue and morality with a ton of political stuff that I'm not going to even touch in this video with a 10-foot pole. The thing is, companies and politicians are going to have to learn the hard way when it comes to AI and the potential damage it can cause, or has already caused. These tools need regulations and more of an ethics code on them. I would recommend doing more of your own research on this topic if you really want to get involved in making it better. But until then, we just need to let AI run out of steam. Meaning, let the companies learn that AI is not always good and that it's not a shortcut to better results. This leads on to my last thing, and that's using AI for personal use. If you aren't going to do harm to others, I honestly don't see a problem for using it for meme purposes or using it for actual useful things. Useful as in creating reference artwork like making rock textures for a video game. Just don't use it against others maliciously. If someone gave their permission for their likeness to be used, then it's fine. But don't go and use these YouTubers or voice actors or other celebrities for AI purposes, because some of them might not agree to their likeness or voice or whatever else being used for these tools. Myself included. Do not use myself for these tools, okay? Use it respectfully and responsibly. AI is a good tool to have, but not a replacement. It can help get rid of some of the tedious work, but you have to put the elbow grease in if you really want to get the exact results that you want. Even a good prompt will not get that exact detail that you want. You always compromise with it and modify the touches as you see fit. I know many artists who are already using this as a tool and are making some neat things with it. You know, that's all it is at the end of the day. It's another tool. That's going to wrap it up for this episode of WaterSurf Side Tangent. This is a video essay series where I talk about the random stuff that's interesting to me. I've done a few episodes on YouTube as well as 2 now on Adobe, and 1 on the Disney parks. I also create a bunch of other, skits, films on this channel, so go check them out if you like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where I've replaced myself with an AI. Okay, bye!